believe God always pays back. God is a just God, and he will not let sin go unpunished. You might not see it, but it will happen. Hey everyone, I'm Rachel, and today on Crack Your Bible, I am too lazy to get makeup on and all this stuff because I want to go sit in the steam room at my gym. So I'm just like chilling right now. I'm tired. And I wanted to talk to you guys about revenge because it's a natural thing to want, is revenge on people who hurt you or who have done you wrong. And the reason that I'm talking about this is, if you follow me on Twitter, you would have seen yesterday that I posted a link to this story from Ask a Manager. I'm going to have a link down below to the full story, but this guy was in a relationship with a woman for 3 years. 2 of them, they lived together. She obviously wanted more out of their relationship, get married, yada, yada, yada. He didn't want to. So without discussing it with her, while she was out of the country visiting family over Christmas break, he moved out and left the country and never contacted her again. And he said, oh, she's such a drama queen. She made a scene trying to contact my family. And if I came home one day and I saw that my husband's stuff was gone and I couldn't get a hold of him, I would have thought that he was kidnapped. Of course, I would go try to find this guy. So anyway, in the story, come to find out, never contacted her, never gave her a reason why, he just up and left. And then now it's 10 years later, and he's getting a new boss, and his new boss is, surprise, the ex-girlfriend that he up and ghosted. And he wants to know what he should do, because he is not in a position where he can find another job because he's living in a different country and he works at a school, so jobs are for a certain term and he just can't get another job. So he wanted to know what he should do. And first of all, clearly this guy doesn't think that he's done anything wrong. Oh, this ex-girlfriend is just crazy, causing scenes with my family. Yeah, I would cause a scene too if somebody stuck me with 100% of the bills out of nowhere, just up and disappeared, and I thought that they were dead or kidnapped or who even knows. Like, of course I would be inconsolable. Just the kind of abuse that this person heaped on this person, no apology, and now he is only somewhat remorseful now that it's going to negatively affect his life. And you know, a lot of people will say, oh, this is karma. No, there's no such thing as karma, but there is God's justice. And God is a God of justice, because although God forgives, God does not remove the consequences of sin. And when you hurt other people, that is a sin. So what I saw playing out was, the book of Romans talks about it, but vengeance is mine, thus saith the Lord. It's not our place to go seek revenge for ourselves, because in the end, God is in charge of everything, and he's the one that will dole out justice, whether in this life or the next. So God is the one that doles out justice. We don't. That's not our job. It's God's job to bring about justice for wrongdoing. And you know, I feel like a lot of people, they will try to justify getting back at other people who have done them wrong. And whenever that happens, it's never going to work out in your favor. When you decide that you want to try to do God's job, that you're going to go get revenge on people, it will blow up in your face. And you need to just like sit back and let God do his thing. Because now this is a pretty minor story, but I get so much embarrassment just thinking back on it. And this is a time where I tried to get revenge on somebody. So let me just set the story for you. So I had a boyfriend when I was young. So I was not an adult at this time. We were boyfriend and girlfriend for a few years, and then as things do, we broke up. And he went on to go get a new girlfriend. And this is like, now we're college age, and we didn't live in the same state anymore. I had never met this girl. Like, I still don't know who she is or anything like that. But she had friended me on Facebook. So I had reached out to my ex and I said, like, why is your new girlfriend trying to friend me on Facebook? And he had told me, oh, she just wants to look through your pictures, which is weird. But, whatever, I accepted it. And I would start getting messages. Now, this is like the old days of Facebook. I would get notifications saying, so-and-so has answered a question about you. Would you like to see the answer? And because I also had that third-party app or whatever, I was able to see what she wrote. And it was always something that was very negative or denigrating me. And it's like, I don't even know you. Like, why? What? Like, leave me alone. Like, what is your issue? You're with my ex. Like, go, live your life, have fun. And sometimes I get weird messages. Like, one time she asked me if I wanted her ferret because she was like moving in with my ex or something, and it was just, it's weird. Like, why are you contacting me? We don't even live in the same state. Like, again, leave me alone. And then it was really bothering me because it's just like, go live your life, move on. I don't even know you. But then I got a request to help them win, like, wedding photography. So it's like, leave me out of your life. I don't want anything to do with this. Like, great, you're with my ex. I don't care. Move on. So I got this request, like, please help us win wedding photography, blah, 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 blah. And it's like you had to write a comment or vote for somebody, vote and leave a comment. I don't know. So I was like, you know what? This is it. So I wrote this really sappy message like, oh, it's bittersweet that this chapter in our lives is, whatever, coming to an end. And, while I'm sad, I'm really happy for you. And I'm so glad that you finally found your person. And I wish you all the best. Like, it was super sappy because I wanted to embarrass them. Because it's like, again, leave me alone. And I knew it would make people uncomfortable if they saw this super sappy message. It had the desired effect. Like, they unfriended me. And, I mean, it wasn't like immediate, but they unfriended me. And I got to stop getting, like, the rude, kind of, like, insecure jabbing messages from this girl. So it had its desired effect, but at the same time, it made me look like a nutcase. So me getting revenge for this person's insecurity, yeah, did it end up working? Yeah, of course. But unfortunately, it backfired on me because, well, it made me look to myself like a weirdo. It just made me look petty and weird, because nobody else knew the backstory or even what was going on with this person. So it's just like, I don't have any contact with these people or anybody else who would have, like, seen this message, but just for my own well-being, I'm just like, oh God, this is so cringy. I wish I would have just deleted and blocked them both and not even deal with this. Because whenever you want to, like, dole out revenge, and this is, like, a very innocent type thing, whenever you want to dole out revenge, it's always going to backfire on you. It might backfire immediately or way down the line. You never know. But when you want to get revenge, don't. Just step back so you don't embarrass yourself like I did. So, when people hurt you, I think it's really important. And, I've been through some crazy stuff. I've been through some, like, incredibly abusive situations with people. And, they're not always pleasant. I mean, I've dealt with physical and sexual abuse from a person before. They weren't like related to me by blood, but you know, I've dealt with that, and it's really tough. You have to be a strong person when you're dealing with something that is so overtly sinful and wrong, when somebody is actively trying to hurt you. Christians have a really bad track record of explaining how you should behave around somebody who you have forgiven, and forgiveness implies that they've done something bad to you. So when people are bad to you, you shouldn't stay in a situation where you're around that person. And people misquote turning the other cheek all the time. I'm going to link right up here to my video on what does it mean to turn the other cheek, because people don't understand it at all. It is a cultural phenomenon that even happens today, and it's not even remotely close to what Christians explain it to be like. So, turning the other cheek does not mean that you continually be a doormat for people and you just keep turning the other cheek, turn the other cheek. They just keep beating up on you. Absolutely not. And forgiveness does not require that you lie for somebody, keep their secrets, hide what they've done. Like, you don't need to lie for somebody because they're embarrassed of their sin. That's for them to deal with. If your truth embarrasses you, change it. But everybody else is not required to lie on your behalf so that you don't have to face the consequences of your actions. So I think that's really important to understand. You do not and should not continue a relationship with somebody who abuses you. And I don't think it's very common for people who are abusive to somehow magically change and then they are a safe person to be around in any situation. I think it's really important to let them be dealt with by God. Like, let them do their thing with God. Let God take care of it. Don't stick around to see justice or try to rehabilitate them yourself. That's not your job. Let God do his job. You focus on you. Forgiveness is not dependent on whether or not the other person realizes that what they're doing is abusive. Forgiveness is not dependent upon other people feeling bad or remorseful or repentant for the things that they've done to you. No, it is completely dependent on you saying, God, I give up my right to be angry at this person. When you are dealing with an abusive person, we're not just talking about like, oh, we had a minor disagreement and I need to forgive them and reconcile and we can just move forward with our relationship. No, I'm talking about people who abuse you. This is like not a one-time thing. This is a reoccurring thing. You have to see it for what it is, because it's not just, oh, this person's a narcissist, or oh, this person has borderline personality disorder, or oh, this person just has an anger issue. No, what this person has is a heart problem. They are un-Christ-like, especially if they consider themselves a Christian. They are mimicking Satan, where it's, I am going to exalt myself above all others. And one way to exalt yourself above everybody else, where you're the one in charge, where you're above everybody, is to abuse them, where you chip away at their self-esteem, or you like physically injure them, or like we saw in the case of Ham, Noah, and his wife, there was rape that was committed. And what was it about? It was about Ham exalting himself over everybody, where it's like, no, this, everything that exists is now mine. It is a show for dominance. It's a power play. And this is how Satan behaves. So abusive people, even if they consider themselves Christian, are engaging in habitual sin. It is un-Christ-like, and it's not something that the person who is receiving the abuse can forgive and let go, and then they can just be reconciled to each other. No, the person who's being abused needs to forgive from a distance and get away from that person, because there can't be any sort of reconciliation until God deals with the abuser, where justice has been served, where he has broken down that person so that he can build them up. And if the person is completely unrepentant to God, not to the person that they've harmed, because good luck getting somebody to realize that they've wronged you or even own up to it. If they are an unrepentant person, they have to deal with God. And until God has dealt with them, they are not ready to be reconciled to you, because it's not safe for you. It is not a safe space for you to forgive and then be reconciled to them. They have some trials ahead of them that they need to go to before they are ready to be back in a relationship. And you might never have a relationship with them, but the most important thing to do is get away from them, remove yourself from the situation, and forgive from a distance, and let God deal with them, because it is a heart issue. It is an un-Christ-like action where they're acting like Satan. They want to be exalted above everybody else at any means possible, and it's not okay, and you cannot fix them. You can forgive them, but you cannot fix them. You are not being unloving or holding anything against another person by saying, I am refusing to allow you to continue to abuse me. I forgive you, but I'm not going to continue my relationship with you. Yes, you're a bad person, but at the same time, like, I'm not wishing ill on you. I don't hold bitterness in my heart where it excites me to see you in pain. Believe, God always pays back. God is a just God, and he will not let sin go unpunished. You might not see it, but it will happen. So worry about taking care of yourself, get yourself in a good place, and don't waste your time on revenge, because that is only going to hurt you. Because God says, if you don't forgive your brother, he won't forgive you. So it's not about have people forgiven us, it's have we forgiven people who have hurt us. Forgive them, move on, and let God deal with the punishment for that person. That's just something that I wanted to share with you. I hope that you will like, subscribe, and share, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.